Introducing the Gastro Notebook, where your culinary journey begins.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Gastro Notebook. You know that feeling when you go to your favorite restaurant, you order that one dish you always get and it tastes exactly right every single time? Have you ever stopped and wondered, how do they pull that off?
So what's the deal? Is it some kind of culinary magic? A chef who just has this sixth sense for flavor? Well, the truth is a little less mystical, but honestly, it's way more fascinating.
Because what feels like magic is, in reality, a carefully designed, highly tuned system. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and dive right into the professional's playbook. It's a system where everything, and I mean everything, starts with that one document they hand you when you sit down.
All right, let's get into it. We have to start with the menu. Because in the restaurant world, the menu isn't just a list of food. You have to think of it as the core blueprint, the very DNA of the entire business.
You know, our source material has this fantastic quote. The menu is called the driver. And just think about that for a second. It's not a passenger, it's not just along for the ride, it is in complete control, steering every single decision that business is going to make.
And this shows you just how much it drives. I mean, deciding to put a fancy wood-fired pizza on the menu, that's not just adding a food item. That decision right there dictates the oven you need to buy, the specialized staff you need to hire, the flour you have to order, even the kind of vibe or philosophy your restaurant has. Every single thing on this list flows directly from what's written on that menu.
Okay, so if the menu is that important, how do the pros actually build one? It's not just about what tastes good, it's a strategic game, and it involves picking the right kind of menu and then using some pretty clever tactics to make it work.
So you've basically got three main types. There's the static menu. Think of your favorite fast food place. It pretty much never changes, which makes ordering and planning super predictable. Then you have a cycle menu, like what you'd see in a school cafeteria, where it repeats every week or two. That's super efficient when you're serving the same people over and over. And finally, the daily menu, which gives you the most freedom. It's perfect for farm-to-table spots that want to use whatever's fresh and in season. Each one serves a totally different purpose.
But picking a type of menu is really just the beginning. This is where it gets really fun. When you stop looking at the menu as just a list and start seeing it for what it really is, a carefully designed tool of persuasion. Welcome to the world of menu psychology.
Professionals know exactly how your eyes scan a page. They'll put their most profitable dishes right in that sweet spot where you look first. They might put a box around an item to make it pop. Or, and this is a classic, they'll get rid of the dollar signs because studies show it actually makes us feel less pain about spending money. And they will never put the prices in a neat little column because that just turns it into a shopping list where you look for the cheapest thing. It's also subtle, but it's incredibly powerful.
Okay, but all that clever menu design is totally worthless if the food itself isn't consistent, right? A dish that sounds amazing but tastes different every time you order it, that's a recipe for disaster. And that brings us down to the most fundamental part of it all, the recipe. And in the pro world, it's got to be a standardized recipe.
Now, this is the official definition from the USDA, and it is just perfect. A standardized recipe isn't just a suggestion, it's a guarantee. It's been tested, tweaked, and perfected so that no matter who's in the kitchen, the final dish is exactly the same every single time. This is the real secret to that consistency we were talking about.
I absolutely love this analogy. A standardized recipe is to a chef what a blueprint is to an architect. You wouldn't just eyeball where the support beams go in a skyscraper, would you? Of course not. It's that same level of precision that's needed in the kitchen to create a perfect dish over and over again.
Now, inside this whole science of recipes, pros use this brilliant principle called cross-utilization. It's a really simple idea, but it has a massive impact. It just means taking one core ingredient and figuring out how to use it in a bunch of different dishes across your menu.
So, let's get practical. Just look at what you can do with something as simple as a chicken breast. You buy one ingredient in bulk, chicken, and suddenly you're fueling 4 totally different dishes. This is a game changer. It cuts down on waste, it makes your ordering simpler, it keeps your costs in check, and your customers still get a ton of variety. It's just smart business.
So, why? Why go through all this trouble to standardize every little thing? Why is the system so critical? Well, the payoff is huge, and trust me, it goes way beyond just making sure the food tastes good.
Okay, so the biggest slice of the pie, no surprise, is consistent quality. That's what brings people back. But right behind that is food cost control, knowing down to the penny what a dish costs you. Then you've got predictable yield, which means you don't run out of the special halfway through dinner service. And this last one is so important, customer safety. If someone has a serious allergy, a standardized recipe is your guarantee that no hidden allergens will end up on their plate. It's crucial.
So how does a chef actually do this? Well, it's a pretty straightforward three-step dance. First, you verify that the original recipe actually works. You make it. Then, you evaluate it. You taste it, you get feedback, and finally, you adjust the quantity to scale it up for the restaurant's needs. Now that third step, adjust the quantity, that sounds like it could get messy with a lot of complicated math, right? Nope. Professionals have this incredibly slick and simple tool for this exact problem. It's called the factor method.
And there it is. That's the whole secret formula. Pretty brilliant, huh? You just take the number of servings you want to make, and you divide it by how many servings the original recipe makes. That number you get is your magic number, the multiplying factor.
So for example, let's say your awesome chicken salad recipe makes enough for 25 people, but you know you're going to need 60 servings for the big lunch rush. You just take 60, divide it by 25, and you get 2.4. Now all you have to do is multiply every single ingredient in that recipe by 2.4, and you will have the perfect amount for exactly 60 servings. No guesswork, no waste. Just pure, simple precision.
So, let's bring this all full circle, shall we? We started way up high with the grand vision of the menu, and we've drilled all the way down to the simple math that makes sure every single plate that leaves the kitchen is perfect.
And here's the big takeaway from all of this. That amazing dish you love at your favorite spot, it's not an accident. It's the final product of a deliberate, scientific, and totally repeatable system. It's where the art of cooking meets the science of production.
And that gets me thinking. I want to ask you, now that you've seen a little bit of how the pros do it, if you were opening your own place tomorrow, what would be the very first dish you would put on your menu and standardize? What's that one recipe that would be the absolute cornerstone of your restaurant?
If you found this little peek behind the curtain of the professional kitchen useful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Gastro Notebook. Let's definitely talk in the comments below. I'd love to hear what dish you'd standardize first or if you have any questions at all. Until next time, stay curious.